to drop the video link there so that you wouldn't want to just be come to my DM and be asking me to send link for previous class that would add in the past. But nevertheless, I just want us to be considerate and to have it at the back of our mind that this class that we set up is not easy for everybody, everyone. It's not easy for us, as the case may be, but we just try to do humanity service, and the cost of data and everything now is even not smiling at all, at all, at all. I'm very, very sure for those of us I know, like 6 gig cannot even, because I had to connect through my iPhone to my laptop. So before you know, 10 gig cannot even be enough of this class, because iPhone will even take its own data personally before we now connect to PC. But nevertheless, that should be my problem, not yours. So, but in my own way, please let us be trying to be considerate and do the needful. If we set up class, you come or you join the class if you have time. But if you don't have class time, you can send something on the group chat before you even reach out to me via DM. Please send to your group chat. Oh, can anyone send me the link of this thing? I'll be there. I'll see it. If nobody now respond, then I can now know what to do. Not that someone will just barge into my DM, be expecting me. I've seen a lot of cases, and some will even come that this material, please can you please send me your own? And I've decided from this week now that maybe from today, anybody that has not gotten this material I'm using, I don't know what else to do again. Probably I will just keep ignoring the message. So you can use Apex material is the same thing, nothing changed. It's just that this one is just my own material that I understand, and I've gone through Apex material. It's the same thing, so I don't see why do this thing at the right time you won't, and later maybe after we've said that thing for like 2-3 weeks, even a month, some people will still be coming to me, be send me messages via DM. I don't appreciate that, and I don't want to sound rude, or some will even go as much as possible that, oh, I've been sending you messages, you've been ignoring my message. If I'm in a good mood, I will just reply the person because it's annoying, and I don't want to. I want to try to be as professional as I can, but some people will still keep pushing you. But nevertheless, that's what I have to say. So we should just be considerate to everybody, and if they ask you to do something, please let's do it on time. And if you know that you don't have time to, or you cannot meet up with the time, please don't let us waste each other's time, so we can progress. Like I said, I will not take much of our time, and this class is going to be as brief as possible. We are going to treat 2 chapters today, so I'll just explain the overview of the chapter, what we need to know about it. Then I will just switch through the material that we have. Then we are good to go. So if you have any question, I can see Victoria is raising up her hand. If you have any question before we proceed, so we can start class paper. Victoria, anything? Please ask your question. You are raising up your hand. Okay, she has disappeared again. All right. So you can start our class now. Last time we talked about this one. You like to drop light, yeah? So last class we talked about what was our last lecture? Okay, so our previous class, I think that should be chapter 9. I think we talk about, what do we talk about, safe? I can't remember. I have a lot of my. Someone should remind me now. Our last class, I think we were here together that day.
Audit, evaluation, and review.
Thank you, Victoria. Audit, evaluation, and review. So, haven't we eaten today? Everybody everybody just as audible as possible. What is going on? Haven't we eat today? Nobody is talking now. So it means that we are hungry, Abi.
We are with you, sir.
We are fasting.
Ah, we are which fasting? Yeah, fasting. Am I not fasting too? Madam fasting. Thank you. We are all fasting. Okay, oh, so okay, so we talk about audit evaluation and review the last time we had this class. So today we want to move to group audit. Group audit from the word group audit. Group audit. What does it mean? Can anybody help? Like I said, I'll give us the overview, everything we need to know about group audit, the acceptance of the group auditors, then the group audit and the individual group companies, and some standard that we need to be aware of about the group audits, the terminologies in group audits, and the definition of key components, the preliminaries and everything, the materiality. That's what we want to talk about. We're working with component auditors. That's what we want to talk about under this group audit. So we'll be as brief as possible. I'll just give us the overview, then we'll go through the material, then we'll move to the next topic. But before we proceed, what is group audit? Who can help us? What do we understand by group audit? Anybody, please, you can raise up your hand. Just 2 or 3 people. Let's just familiarize ourselves. Oh yeah, let's talk. Let's talk. Group audit. I'm sure so all of us want to write exam next this diet. Now, why is this class quiet now? Mr. Olamilekan, please help us out. Group audit.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Ibrahim.
Yes, sir. Group audit, I think from my own understanding, is the process of accepting an engagement to audit a group of company which may have individual auditors for their respective subsidiaries, but you now accepting an audit engagement for the group entirely, and then overseeing what all the other independent auditors did for the various subsidiaries, and combining everything together.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Ibrahim, thank you so much. Mr. Isaac, let's hear you, sir. Mr. Isiak, are you not there? You are raising up your hand. Mr. Olamilekan, let's hear you, sir.
Okay, group audit has to do with an auditor or a firm auditing a consolidated financial statement that has to do with the parent and the subsidiary. So while you are carrying out such audit, you are auditing not just the parent, you are also looking into auditing the subsidiary. As so that is like a combination of the group, in my understanding.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. You can put down your hand. Mr. Isiak, let's hear you, sir. Group audit.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
I think from good evening, sir. I think from my own understanding, group audit is the process of audit financial statement of both the parent and subsidiary at once.
As a whole, thank you. So you can see the class we are flowing. We don't need to talk too much about it. But however, you can put down your answer and mute your mic, sir. Thank you so much. So generally, that is the meaning of group audit. But before we proceed, I want us to go through the overview of the of the group audit generally. So for the sake of this class, group audits can be complex and confusing. That is very, very certain. However, the regulator often identify group audits in their own qualities inspections as an area that needs improving. So that's the essence of group audit. Then, however, with this in mind, a whole chapter is dedicated to group audits in compliance with revised ISA 600. For the sake of exam, and at the end of this chapter, we should be able to understand and be able to do the following. First of all, to summarize the core components and consideration of group audit, the core components of group audit and the consideration of group audit. What are the core components? Which is the audit of the parent company and subsidiary company. And the core component, the main reason is for the auditor to express an opinion about the group company as a whole. That's the core component. Then, however, we should be able to describe how the component auditors are used and the various communication they can use to partake in group audits. We should be able to explain the responsibility and tasks involved in performing group audits, compliance with ISA 600, including planning, performing, and reporting. That's the stages in auditing. Then we should be able to explain the joint audit and when it may be necessary. We should be able to discuss the advantages and disadvantages of group audits. And lastly, the practical consideration when undertaking joint audits. Joint audits and group audits might be used interwoven, but however, our program today is majorly on group audits. So, let us begin. Thank you for our contribution from the people that contributed and give us the meaning of group audit. I hope everybody can hear me. I hope I'm audible enough.
Yes, sir.
Please let me know if okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I hope you capture all the preliminaries this thing of setting what we should know about group audit generally, the core components, the how the component auditors can are used and various communication to partake in group audit, the responsibility tasks involved in group audit, what's explain what made up of joint audits and when it may be necessary, then the advantages and disadvantages of group audits, then maybe practical explanation where necessary. So let's dive into the explanation. Group audit. Group audit can be defined generally as the audit of group of companies, which include the audit of the parent company and its subsidiaries. So the objective of group audit is to express an opinion, as I said earlier, to express an opinion on the financial statement of the group as a whole. Then, what are the scope of group audits? It consists of the parent company, the subsidiary, and the consolidation of their accounts together. Then, other key concepts might lead to the control, the consolidation, and the materiality, as we already said. The approaches to group audits, we have the risk assessment, the audit planning, the consolidation audit, then the audit team. That's where we have the group audit team, the component auditor, and the likes. Then we move to the benefits. So, as I explained earlier, group audits can be defined as the audit of group of companies, which has to do with the audit of financial statement of the parent and financial statement of the subsidiary, and the expression of an auditor to now express opinion about the position of the financial statement prepared by the company and give opinion whether the financial statement is of true and fair view and is free from material misstatement in a group. That is, the auditor will give an opinion. You know, the auditor audited parent company and the subsidiary. Then the auditor is now giving opinion on the two accounts as a whole in one report, not subsidiary separate, the parent separate. That is what we refer to as group audit. Please, do we understand my explanation? Can I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, in consideration and Mrs. Ifeoluwa, what is you are raising up your hand? I hope there's no issue. Okay.
Yes,
So,
sir.
in consideration, good evening.
Yes, sir. I just want you to brush up what you've just said.
Brush
Thank
up
you, sir.
how? I just explained. We've not even read through anything. Brush up. What do you mean by brush up?
Reason is I just joined it and I knew you just explained something, so that was the reason. Sorry.
Okay, so we're talking about group audits. As we said, I only give my own definition, although I asked the class and they responded fantastically to give me the definition of group audit. But however, for the sake of your question, I just finished explaining to us the meaning of group audit. We said group audit can be defined as the audit of the parent, audit of the group's account, which has to do with audit of the parent's account and audit of the subsidiary account. Then the auditor will, however, now give opinion generally on the account as a whole, not auditor will now give an opinion on the account as a whole. Then to now determine whether the account is the financial statement is free from material misstatement and it is free from error. So in group audit, it is the audit of the parent account and the subsidiary account, but the auditor will give an opinion on the two accounts in a group report, in a single report, not separate report. The auditor is going to form an opinion in a simple report, in a one report, which is called a group report, not two different accounts, because the auditor actually audited the parent company and the subsidiary. But however, you know, from our skills level, we always consolidate the account of the parent and subsidiary together. So in this note, the auditor will, however, also give a report of the account here as a whole, not separate entity. That is what I meant by group audit, and that's what I explained before. Do you understand now? Can I proceed?
Thank you, sir. I'm grateful.
All right. So, for the sake of this class, actually, then we need to familiarize ourselves with some standard. We need to know about IFRS 3. Who can tell me the meaning of IFRS 3? What does it talk about? Business combinations. Mr. Moses, any problem? You are raising up your hand.
Business combination.
Okay. IFRS 3, business combination. Then IFRS 10, that one is actually known to everybody,
Consolidated
is
financial
consolidated
statement.
financial
Financial
statement.
statement.
Yes, then we have IAS 28, but that is investment in associates, which
Investment.
is then IAS 27. Of course, it is separate financial statement revised. Then IFRS 12, that is disclosure of interest in other entities. If you have interest in other entities, you must disclose it. That is IFRS 12. Then IFRS 11 talks about the joint arrangement. All these standards talks or circle around what we call group audit or what we call group account, which is the account of the parent and the subsidiary. So These standards we just mentioned circularize around this topic we want to talk about, whether we see it aspect of group account or the group audit. Then, however, finally, then we can also talk about IS 24 to which is related party disclosure. We talk about uh, disclosure of interest in other entity which has to do with IFRS 12. Then now, IS 24 also talk about related party disclosure. That is, if you have related party transactions or related party disclosure, a related party transaction, you have to disclose it. That is what they mean by related party disclosure, which talks about IS 24. So all these things circles around group account and group audit. And we've explained the meaning of group audit and the problem. So let's dive into the this thing as a whole. So we said we will be talking about some terminologies which we have to do with group engagement team. So we need to explain about group engagement team also. So I've given us the meaning of group audit. So what do we understand by group engagement team? So we can quickly talk about that one. So I will explain. Group audit, group engagement team can be defined as the audit team responsible for the audit group financial statements, which is usually and also be the audit team responsible for the audit of the parent company. I will say it again. Group engagement team, it is the audit team responsible for the audit of what? Group financial statement, and will usually also be the audit team responsible for the audit of the parent company. However, furthermore, ISA 600 refer to what? Group audit. That is also means group engagement partner or group engagement team, with a number of other IAS also used as term group auditor, which is synonymous for group engagement team. What we are saying, or what I've been saying that look like I'm rapping, in essence, it means that group engagement teams is used synonymously to group engagement partner or group audit or group auditor. Anyone you want to call it, you are still talking about group audit. So group engagement team, it is the team. Group engagement team, it is the team. So here I'm expecting us to ask us what's the meaning, what's the difference between group audit and group engagement team. Group audit, it is the audit of the financial statement of the parent and the subsidiary, and the auditor will now give form an opinion and give reports on give reports of the accounts audited as a whole. Then group engagement team, these are the team of auditors that audited the group financial statements that we are talking about as established by ISA 600. That is the meaning of group engagement team. So group audit and group engagement team, they are two different things. Please, can I proceed? I hope we understand.
Sir, your screen is not showing what you're explaining.
Yes, sir.
I'm just explaining. I've never moved my screen. When I'm ready to move the screen, I just told us that did you join this class from the beginning? I've explained that I'm going to give us the overview explanation of group audit. Then, however, we'll move to the slide. By moving to the slide, we just read through, then we'll move to the next chapter. That was what I explained before.
Okay, sir.
So, can I proceed now? I hope we are clear with the meaning of group audit and group engagement team.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mrs. Jennifer, you
Yes, sir.
raise up your hand. Any issue? Okay.
Yes, sir. There is an issue, sir. Please, uh, before we started this very class, I was thinking that engagement team and the group audit, that they are all the same thing. And now you are trying to let us know that they are not the same. Please, sir, can you differentiate the difference between the two?
I just said it now before.
But I did not really get it.
Okay. I said group audits. Group audits can be defined as the audit of parent and the subsidiary account in order for the auditor to form an opinion or to express an opinion and give report to the shareholder of the company and give report to the shareholder of the company as a whole, like giving the report of the account in a group, not to split it that this is the report of the subsidiary, this is the report of the parent. The auditor form an opinion and give reports about the financial statement audited as a whole. That is the meaning of group audit. Group audit engagement, it is the group of auditors that audited the financial statement of the parent company. Group of auditors, group engagement team. It is the group of auditors that audited the financial statement of both the parent and the subsidiaries. That is the difference between the two.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. I understand now. Thank you, sir.
Like you are not convinced enough.
No, I understand.
Perfectly.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. With this question now, we'll not be able to proceed. Okay, Mrs. Esther, please, your question. Your question, or you raise up your hand.
Okay, sir. If I get you clearly, you say group audit is the normal audit we know, but this one for a group, and then the engagement in are the people that are carrying out the audit. Simple.
Yes, as simple
Thank you,
as
sir.
that.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Mr. Abdulgani, you raise up your hand. Mr. Abdulgani. Okay, so it's not there. So we'll proceed. Then, so that is the overview of the group audit. Then the group preliminaries, as I said, we have to set our materiality. Then we do through planning and controlling group units and the likes. So let's quickly dive into the meaning of group audit, and we share a slide. So I'll read. Please, at any point in time, if you have a question, please let me know. Group audit consists of auditing the financial statement of the individual companies in the group. The parent company perform work on financial information related to a component for the group audit. Furthermore, ISA 600 explains the relationship between the group auditors and the component auditors. The group auditors is responsible for direction, supervision, and performance of group audit and issuing appropriate audit reports.
I can't hear you.
Of
Don't
group
know.
auditors and component auditors. What is the difference? What is the difference? Group auditors are the one in charge of auditing the financial statement of the parent company, which is related to group audit engagement, right? That is group audit engagement, which is the same thing as group auditors. However, on other note, and the group auditors, they are responsible for direction, supervision, and performance of the group audit and issuing appropriate group audit reports. Why component auditors? Component auditor is an auditor who is at the request of the group engagement team perform work on financial information related to a component for the group audit. As I will take it again. Component auditor is an auditor who is at the request of the group engagement team perform on financial information related to a component for the group audit. Please, any question? Do you understand the explanation on the component auditors? Can I proceed?
Yes.
Okay. So let's proceed. As I just, since I saw it in this thing, I just have to explain so that since we maybe when we see it in our exam, that differentiate between the group auditors and component auditors, we should be able to know what to say. So let's proceed. Accepting an appointment as a group auditor. Accepting an appointment as a group auditor. So let's dive in. We said, before accepting an appointment as a group auditor, the audit firm should ensure that all procedures relating to acceptance of engagement as per ISA 220 are met and they have reasonable expectation of obtaining sufficient appropriate audit evidence. What is ISA 220? Who can tell me the meaning of ISA 220? I've said it severally in this class. It's just that we don't used to read. ISA 220, please. Who can remind me? I'm sure all of us will now Google now. ISA 220 is simply talking about quality control for an audit financial statement. I will discuss this in, I think, in our chapter 6 or so. That the quality control that is talking about the ISA 220. So let's proceed. As per ISA 220 are met and they have a reasonable expectation of obtaining sufficient and appropriate audit evidence and the information of the component to reduce audit risk to an acceptable level. The firm is expected to what? Obtain sufficient understanding of group and its component to determine the following. Number one, to determine first, which components are sufficient to the group. Two, which significant components are audited by others. Three, if group audit firm will be able to sufficiently involved in the audit of the components to obtain sufficient evidence about them. What this one is saying that before accepting an appointment as a group auditor, we have to look for the following. In the sense that according to ISA 220, which talks about the quality control, the quality control for an audit of financial statement, I also established that the auditor is responsible. Established the responsibility of the auditors and the audit firm to ensure that audit is conducted in accordance with professional standard. That is quality control. That audit is conducted in accordance with what? Professional standard and relevant regulatory requirements. So before accepting an appointment as a group auditor, and according to ISA 220, we should be able to determine the following components. Number one, which components are sufficient to the group? That is, which components. So I think I should also let us know the meaning of component in this regards too. What we mean by component. Component is an entity or business activities for group or component management. Prepare financial information that should be included in the group financial statement. Component, which just means that subsidiaries. That's the meaning of component, so that we not talk too much. I said, before accepting an appointment as a group auditor, we have to determine three things. Which components are sufficient to the group? Which significant components are audited by others? And the third one, if group audit firm will be able to sufficiently involved in the audit of the component to obtain sufficient evidence about them. So furthermore, the group auditors is expected to set out materiality for group of financial statement and component materiality for components with component auditors. What do we understand by materiality? I've said it before. Who can help us? Materiality? What do we understand by materiality? Anybody? Please, when you want to talk, please raise up your hand. Don't just mute your mic and start talking. Mr. Isaac, you can talk now.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Please, your network is breaking. We can't hear you very well.
Okay, materiality is talking about any amount or that can lead to the statement of financial statement. Any figure that can lead
We can't hear you. Maybe you should just mute your mic. Mute your mic. Maybe because I can't just hear you at all. The network is bad there. So, let me call Mr. Abdugani. Can you help us? The meaning of what am I even asking, sir? What was my question again?
The meaning of
You're
materiality.
asking about materiality.
Okay, materiality.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Lasisi, you can tell us, what do you understand by materiality? Mr. Osman, can you please off your video, please? Thank you. Mr. Usman Mohammed, please off your video. Mr. Lasisi, you can go on. Okay. Mr. Mohammed, please, let us hear you. You are raising up your hand.
You mean me?
Not you, not you. Since nobody is talking, so let's proceed. Okay, so let's proceed. I think I've mentioned materiality severally, so we can just work out. So the group auditor is expected to determine the type of work to be performed on components. Number one, where component of individual financial significance to group, the group auditor or component materiality and a specified audit procedure to address the risk of material misstatement. For the second one, for non-significant components, the group auditor should perform an analytical procedure at the group level. This thing is telling us that before we can determine the type of work to be performed on components. So determining the type of work to be performed by the component. What's this now? Okay. Determining the type of work to be performed on the component, we have the following: that the auditor is expected to determine the type of work to be performed on the component. Where number one, where a component is of individual financial significance to the group auditor or component materiality, and the specified audit procedure to address the risk of material misstatement. For second one, for non-significant components, the group auditor should perform analytical procedure at the group level. I have also talked about the analytical procedure before, so there's no need for us to go back there. I think this one now explains the acceptance of group auditors, the three things we need to look into, and the determining of group audit work. So let's proceed. Let's move to communication with component auditors. I've explained the meaning of component auditors, and I've explained the meaning of group audit team, or the group engagement team. Component auditors. So let's talk about it. The group auditor is expected to communicate with components so that the group auditor will obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence to reach its conclusion to express an opinion. That is, there must be an effective two-way communication between the group and the component auditor. The group auditor's requirements are communicated in a letter of instruction, while the component auditor communicates in a form of report of work performed. What we are saying is this: the component auditor, they are the one on the field. They are the one that perform the whole process, the whole vouching, the whole audit work, the whole analytical review. They are the one that does that. Then the group engagement will be the one to supervise, to direct, and they will be the one to compile the report of the audit work together. But it is the component auditor that will be on the field. They will be the one to work, do the vouching, gather all the audit evidence, and also communicate the report, their findings in form of report of work performed and sent to the group audit engagement in order for them to form an opinion and write report. Please, do we understand the difference between the group engagement team and the component auditors now? Who is raising up his or her hand? I can hear you. Please talk.
Please, I don't understand the communication component.
I just explained. I have not even explained the communication component. I just explained that my question is: do you understand the difference between the group engagement team and the component auditor? That was my question.
No, sir. No, sir. Sir, please, I don't understand it, sir.
No, sir.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
So before we move to the communication, at least you're supposed to understand. That is why I explained the meaning of the difference between the two. We have two people here. We have the group engagement auditor and the component auditor. The group engagement auditor, they are the one in charge of giving reports on financial statement prepared by the component auditor. They are just like the organs that we now supervise, direct the other component auditors. However, the component auditors, they are the auditors in charge of auditing the financial statement. They are the one that will do the vouching, follow the normal analytical review, gather audit evidence, and communicate their findings in form of report of work and send to the group engagement team. It is now the group engagement team that now do the final analytical procedure and also prepare the report finally and present to the board of directors. That is the difference between group audit engagement and component auditors. Do we understand now, Mrs. Zaigbe?
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Zaigbe, do you understand now?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to
That
summarize
your
it.
yes, that
I'm
your
writing
yes,
something. So I'm writing something down. Yes, if I did not get it, I'll tell you, sir.
okay.
I'm writing something
So
down.
yeah, Mr. Udowo, do you understand now? Can I proceed, please?
Yes, can proceed.
Okay. So now, what we are saying, we're actually talking about communication. So from there, I just say that it is right for me to tell us the meaning of group audits or the meaning of group engagement team and component auditor, which I have explained and we said we understand. So, however, we said, let me stop from this final paragraph, that the group auditor requirements are communicated in the letter of instruction. That is what the group auditors needed from the component auditors. They communicate it in the letter of instruction, while the component auditor communicates communicate in form of report of work. So this is where your question now comes in, Mr. Udowo, that you did not understand the communication with components. There are two things. You need to understand the meaning of group engagement team and component auditor, which I have explained. Then what are their mode of communication? I said, who is that person disturbing us now? Please mute your mic, please. Okay. So we said the group or the group engagement team, they are the one that will supervise and gather the audit report and present to the board of directors. But they supervise, direct, and do the final analytical procedure at the group level. Yes. But how do they now communicate? The group auditors or the group engagement team communicates to the component auditor through letter of instruction. That is, we need this, so this thing. Okay, what is your position on the work you are doing now? Please give me report. They communicate the needed information, so or report about the work of group auditor, about what the component auditors are doing. So if they need to communicate, they communicate through letter of instruction. So then, however, if the component auditor now want to communicate their work or their findings or their vouching, everything they've been doing in the field work, if they want to communicate, they communicate to the group engagement team through they communicate their findings or their report or their work in form of report of work performed. So there are two things. The group engagement team communicates to component auditor through letter of instruction to give them details of what they are doing and the position of the work, while the component auditor respond to that letter in form of report of work performed. That is, they send back what the auditors, the group engagement team need in form of what? Report of work performed. That is the difference between the two. Mr. Udowo, do you now understand now?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, thank you. So let's quickly proceed. So the letter of instruction, we said the letter of instruction, it is the letter sent by what? By the group engagement team. What are the components of letter of instruction? It will consist of work. The work required and requested for cooperation, the use to be made of that work, the form and content of communication between the auditors, the ethical requirement, the component of materiality, they identify significant risk, and a list of known related parties. And the list of related parties, that is what will be included in the letter of instruction. That is, the letter of instruction is usually sent by what? By the group engagement team to their what? To their component auditor. So and we said the component auditor will now responded in form of report of work performed. Abi? So now, what are the components of report of work performed? The component of report of work performed by the component auditor will include the following. 1. Statement of compliance with ethical and group auditors requirements. 2. Identification of financial information on which the component auditor is reporting. 3. List of uncorrected component financial information. 4. Identify material internal control weakness. 5. Any other significant or relevant matter on governance or general area of the company. And lastly, the overall findings, conclusion, and opinion. Please, do we understand what I just read out now before we
Yes,
proceed?
yes,
Mr. Odowo, do you
yes,
understand perfectly?
yes, I understood
Is
now
there any
perfectly.
other question from anybody? Any question? Okay, so I can see. So if you are enjoying the class, please let me see your favorite emoji to attest that you are really enjoying the class so that I can proceed. Thank you, Mrs. Nkechi, everybody. Thank you, Jennifer. Okay. So, Mrs. Leah, you raise up your hand. Any question? Mr. Gani, any question?
Yes, sir. Sir, From what I have
We need to be
understood
fast.
about, hello, sir.
Okay,
Yeah, from what I have
I
understood
can
about
hear you.
the component and the group, there are some instances whereby the group auditor can as well be the component auditor for a subsidiary. And in as much as a group auditor is also a component to auditor to the subsidiary company, I am seeing a threat in their reporting line, in their communication line. Because if a group auditor is as well one of the auditor of the subsidiary, and he has to as well report to the 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 audit group, that means that it is the same person that is as well review his own work.
No, no, that is not how it works. That is not how it
Okay.
works. Let me give you typical example about what we call group audit generally, and maybe the composition of the component auditors and the group engagement team. All of them, they are ones. It's just that for you to have group audit, the company is always complex, like NMPC, for example. If you want to audit NMPC, it's not, I'm not sure one audit firm can audit NMPC. Their audit is going to be a group audit. For example, now, Mr. Abdo, if you don't have any question, you can put down your hand. You are still raising up your hand. So, are you listening to me, Mr. Geni?
Yeah, I'm with you, sir.
Okay. So, NMPC, for example, as a case study, one single audit firm cannot audit NMPC. It has to be group audit. So in this case, group audit will be like, okay, maybe KPMG and EY will audit this NMPC. So two of them will now shuffle themselves. So maybe we have 10 audit team from KPMG, 10 audit team from EY, for example. So making 20 people to audit NMPC. So they are going to divide themselves. 5 people from KPMG and 5 people from EY will form group audit engagement team, while the rest 5 people from KPMG and 5 people from EY will form the component auditor. So the work of the group auditor, by experience, so okay, you are the one that will supervise the component auditor. The component auditor will be giving us information. They will be the one to do the field work, do everything. They give us report. The report they give us is what we will use to form our final opinion and send report to the board of directors. So you can see that it's just like a division of work, but they are working together.
Yes.
So there's nothing like threat there, because two of them, they are in
Sir,
the
it's
same
like the
engagement
area
team.
I am saying now. You know, if it happens that a subsidiary in a company appointed the group auditor as their own auditor
They cannot
for the
appoint. They cannot appoint, because it is the group that is the parent company. They have the power to appoint the auditor, not the subsidiary. The subsidiary might have their own internal control auditor, whereby the internal control will be the one like the compliance team or the finance team. They'll be the one to be the internal control of the subsidiary. But the parent company is the one that have power to appoint an auditor. That is, the auditor that will then now send to the subsidiary to go and audit.
It is clear that, sir.
It is clear now. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So, Mrs. Jennifer, your question.
It's not really a question. I want to contribute to what we are discussing.
Okay,
it's possible for us, for the parent company. The parent,
is it that
auditor,
it's possible, or is it possible?
It's possible that the parent auditor. But
are you asking a question that okay. Oh yeah, go ahead. Let me hear you very well. Go ahead.
I'm saying, I hope it's possible that the parent company is also the group auditor, as the parent company auditor is the same group auditor, but not possible for the component auditor to be the group auditor as the same time.
Like, this is what we are saying. Let me use NMPC, for example, or Dangote Group, for example. Dangote Group is the parent. However, Dangote Group now have different subsidiaries. We have Dangote Cement, Dangote Flour, Dangote Sugar. You know, all those things, they are components, they are subsidiaries. So it is the Dangote Group of company that will appoint an auditor. Please come and audit the my components. So now it is not the work of group engagement team or the auditors to now audit and select some people that will now audit the subsidiaries. So it is not possible for the subsidiaries to have his own personal auditor. It is not possible. The group, do you understand now? So the company is one. The company is one, and no discrimination that, oh, I have to appoint my own auditor by myself. No, the company is one, Dangote Group or NMPC, for example. So the NMPC will now appoint an auditor, but because of the complexity of the work, that is why we are talking about this joint audit or group audit, for example. Because if the account of the company is not complex, one audit firm is enough. But because of the complexity of the work, that is why we need to talk about group audit. Do you understand now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Mrs. Modupe, you want to ask a question because you unmute your mic without saying anything. Okay. Mrs. Mrs. Ifeoma, please, your question, please, before we proceed.
Hello?
I can hear you. Please go on. Please, we have to be fast about this because I need to enter chapter 11 today. So, and this is the last component that we need to explain before we move to the next chapter. Please let us be fast with our questions so that we can proceed. This is already after 6, and by 7 we are out of here because we are off. Me, I'm fast, and I'm sure some people are also fasting. They need to break. So we cannot extend this class more than 7 o'clock, and I have to cover chapter 11 too. So let us be fast. Your question, go ahead. Hello, we cannot hear you. Can anybody hear? We can hear you now. Go ahead. Madam, you can type your question in the chat box so that we can read your question. I can't hear you, so that we can proceed. Okay, so can anybody hear me? Can we proceed now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's go to joint auditors and advantages of joint audit and disadvantages. Then we'll now move to the next component that we need to talk about. So, joint auditors. Joint audit involves 2 or more audit firms being appointed to audit financial statements, just as what I just explained now. The reason for this group audit we are talking about. Joint audit involves 2 or more audit firms being appointed to audit financial statements of an entity, just like KPMG and EY that I just mentioned. The joint audit provides a joint opinion on the financial statements of the company. Joint audit is commonly found in group audit. The group audit is different from shared audits, even though it involves more than auditors. In shared audit, the signing responsibility of the report lies with single firm, but under group audit, the signing is done by multiple auditors. Let's proceed. What are the advantages of joint audit? Number 1, the following are the advantages gained in joint audit. Number 1, joint audit may increase speed of work for large firms. speed up the delivery time to be covered in order to ascertain work. That is, joint audits may increase the speed of work. Two, it enhances speed transition process in the event of acquisition of large subsidiaries. That is, it enhances speed transition process. That is, speed conversion process in the event of acquisition of large subsidiaries that are very, very big. Number three, it provides higher level of technical expertise. Then it improves geographical coverage, and it may improve on experiencing gain arising from what?
Yes.
Experience shared. Any question? Who's that again? Eh? Who unmutes mic now? Because I'm not on this page. Who unmute the mic? Can I proceed, please? Okay. Then the disadvantages of joint audit. Extra cost to the client. That is, client is going to pay more because instead of paying for one audit firm, the client is paying for two. Number two, possible inconsistent with audit method because the audit method of KPMG is different from the audit method of EY. So possible inconsistency with audit method because it involves two audit firms. Three, because one firm will be saying, this is how we used to do our own. Another one will be saying, this is how we used to do our own. So by this is a disadvantage of joint audit. Number three, possible division of problem of work. Possible division of problem of work. This one is telling us that where we have complex where we have complex work, it's possible that it's some people that face that complex work, while others will just be there to supervise. Sorry, excuse me. While others will just be there to supervise. So this one means that division of problem of work, meaning that some people are tend to face complex problem while they are doing joint audit than others. So the last one there, in the case of audit liability, there may be difficulty in identifying which auditor is potentially liable for negligence, in the sense that maybe the auditors were not they did not do what they're supposed to do, and it leads to auditors liability. It is going to be impossible for them to identify the firm or the auditor that are actually liable for the negligence, because whereby the work was shared between two audit firms and the staff were mixed together. So in the case of auditors liability, it is not possible for you to say, this is the person that that caused the audit liability, or this is the audit firm that caused the audit liability, because the work was done in a group work. So that's one of the disadvantages of joint audit. But in the case of single firm, you know, even though you cannot pinpoint the person, but you hold the audit firm responsible, that you know that our auditor, so you are the one that's responsible. But in the case of joint audit, except you are going to find the two company ones, but you cannot pinpoint that this is the firm that actually potential liable for negligence. So these are the advantages. These are the disadvantages of joint audit. So let's quickly go to performing of joint audit. Performing joint audit. For successful joint audit, there must be a good communication, joint planning, and regular discussion. The following factors should be considered. The audit firm will agree on a joint audit strategy. Yes, that is, when we want to do joint audits, the following for successful joint audit. The following factors should be considered. Number one, the audit firm will agree on a joint strategy. That is, they are going to agree on the joint strategy. These are the strategy you want to use for this audit work generally. Number two, the audit firm will also agree on how to coordinate their work. That is, they agree on how to work together cordially with each other. The firm should also avoid duplication of work to reduce cost. That is, the work of last year, you just transfer it to this year so as to reduce work, or to reduce cost, or to reduce stress on you. That is, the audit firm should jointly avoid duplication of work. The firm will also agree on how to allocate the work, the audit work. They will also agree on how to allocate that. Oh, this person handle payables. This person handle other payable. This person you handle revenue. You handle expenses. You handle cost of sales. You handle trade receivables. So the audit firm will also agree on how to allocate their audit work. Then also the audit firm will review each other's work. So after work, they also review each other's work to avoid the problem. Then lastly, yeah, group auditors maintain group auditors main audit procedure relating to consolidation. So now, when after all said and done, when they want to consolidate, whereby the component auditors want to send the report of work performed to group engagement team, so as for them to now consolidate and give reports to the shareholder, the following are to be the following factors should be considered. Clerical accuracy, that is, the group auditor should confirm that the figures have been transferred accurately from financial statements of the component company. That is, the component company, which is the subsidiary, the auditor should ensure that figures are transferred accurately. Status of investment, that is, the parent should also correctly classify investment as subsidiary, associate, joint, as the case may be. Lastly, changes in group. For acquisition, fair values measurement, the calculation of purchase goodwill and other accounting treatment in line with IFRS 3 and other standards. So, who can tell me the meaning of fair values? What is fair value? This is a simple question. I'm expecting everybody to raise up his hand. Fair value, Mr. Mohammed. Fair value, please.
Fair value is a situation of an agreeable terms at arm's length transaction between two parties.
Mr. Mohammed, if I have to mark you, I cannot give you more than 2/10. It's not comprehensive enough. Yes. Professionally, what is fair value? Mr. Lekon, that you are laughing. Oh, yeah, tell me the meaning of fair value. Yeah, he has run away.
Fair value, sir, can also mean market value, sir.
So yes, we know it's market value. As a professional, what is fair value? We know it's market value, the worth of an asset. That is what we call fair value. Mr. Moses Jare, my man, please tell me the meaning of fair value. Mr. Moses has run away again. Mr. Conker, Abi Mrs. Conker, please, fair value, man. And please help me turn off your video, man. Thank you, man. Oh, yeah, fair value. Fast. Let us go. Okay. Nobody's want to tell us. Mr. Kenneth, hey, welcome. These are my people that used to answer my question. Fair value.
Don't hail me yet. Maybe I should try first. Good evening, sir. I would say fair value is the current price at which an asset is valued at the market. The current price of an asset in the market.
All this definition is too much definition now. Let me hear from Mr. Maybe Mr. or Mrs. Adekonfe. Let me hear from you lastly, so that I will give you, and everybody like this. Maybe I should just remove everybody have to clap for me if I'm able to tell you this. Oh yeah, fair value.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So fair value is the price or the amount that will be received to sell an asset or paid to transfer a liability. So basically, the amount that will be sold or be received at the measurement date between two participants.
See, maybe I can give you 7. Yes, 7. So let me say it finally. Yes, Mrs. Adekov, thank you very much. Fair value can be defined at which amount can be defined as the amount that asset can be sold or liability settled it might be the amount that asset can be sold, or you settle a liability, amount at which asset can be sold or liability settled between a market participant in an orderly manner of transaction at a measurement date. Who is not clapping there now? Let me see. Who is not clapping? Amount at which asset can be sold and liability settled between a market participant. Amount that an asset can be sold or liability settled between a market participant in an orderly manner of transaction at a measurement date. Thank you. If you did not clap, I will clap for myself. Because this thing, I learned it when I was in skills. And the thing is still on my head. Apart from say normal this thing. So let's proceed. Then we talk about the fair value of group asset. Then the related parties we know about, that's IS-24, related party disclosure. Then reporting. The author should ensure that group financial statements are presented in fair and true and fair view. So generally, these are the what we need to know about the group audit and the likes generally. Then the documentation. Let me quickly rush through it because I need to touch this chapter 11. It is very, very important. The documentation, group auditors documentation, and analysis of components and identifying significant components, type of work performed on the financial information, the extent of group auditors' involvement in the work properly performed by component auditors, significant components, written communication, and the likes. So these are the joint audit communication. You can read through it. Then the communication with group management and the likes. All these things you can read through it. And thank God. So on this question, we can see where these things has been tested. 2014 question 4, 2017 question 6, 2018 question 6, 2019 question 2. So from 2019, you can see 2020 question 1A, where they talk about group audit. So let's now go to chapter 11, audit related service. Audit related service. So who Mrs. Adekofe, you still raise up your hand. Any question?
No, sir.
Okay. Mrs. Kemi Olulano, question, please. She's not there. So generally,
no,
on
sir, it's
chapter
by
10,
mistake, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. You can put down your hand, man. So generally, I'm sure we all understand the meaning of joint audit, group engagement audit, component auditors, component audit, the communication, the advantages and disadvantages of joint auditors, the documentation, and everything that has to do with joint audit. I'm very, very sure we should be able to say one or two things about it. Mrs. Temitayo, your question, please.
All right, thank
We need to be
you, sir.
fast, though.
I want to ask that this group, I understand the difference between the meaning of group audit and the likes, but I want to ask that, can we also say group audit is the same as joint audit?
Yes, but in different scenario. Group audit is the audit of account of parent and subsidiary. So how do we do group audit? It has to come joint audit, and joint audit has to do with the audit of group group audit by one or two audit firm. That is joint audit. Do you understand the process now?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
I can say there is no group audit without joint audit. Since
Yes.
joint audit is a combination of two audit firms
Yes.
to audit
Yes.
financial
Audit is group audit. That is majorly when the account is complex. That is why they need work. They need the service of two or more audit firms to audit, and usually. Go ahead.
Can a firm, like just a firm, work on a group audit?
It's not possible now because because of the complexity of the work. Just like NMPC now. I'm talking for example. I don't want to use because of professional this thing. My company where I work now, my company is doing joint audit with KPMG to audit NMPC. And so some of my colleagues are on the field work now in Abuja now. So that is joint audit and it is group audit because NMPC is not NMPC also has subsidiaries. Do you understand now?
Yes, I do. Thank you, sir.
All right. Mrs. Ifeoma Glad, your question.
Sir, my question. Good day. Good evening.
Good evening.
My question is this: I wanted to be clarified. I was
We'll not
thinking
hear you
that,
again.
like, can you hear me? You cannot hear me also. You can't
We
still
can hear
hear
you
me.
now. We can hear
I
you.
was like thinking, like, I wanted to clarify between group audit and joint audit and component audit. I was thinking that component audit works under group audit, like the
Yes,
group
now.
appoint the component to work for them.
Yes. Yes. No.
Okay.
That is what you don't understand now. I will talk about joint audit now. Joint audit
Yeah,
is
I know. Joint audits
wait
work.
now.
Joint audit are several
I've
auditors that come
explained this thing.
together to
I've
work for a
explained this
firm.
thing when someone asked question. No, not even a question. I was the one that said it myself. That this joint audit now, that is the two or more audit firm coming together to do group audit, Abi. So it is from there. That's why I said, if you could remember, or anybody that had me that time, I said, like I now use KPMG and EY as an example. That 10 people from EY, 10 people from KPMG, that is 20 people. Those 20 people will regard to them as joint auditors. They will be the one to audit the group audit. So now from there, they will now divide themselves. You know, there are 20. 5 people from KPMG, 5 people from EY will form the people that they will be the one to form the component auditors. They will be the one to be on the field work. They will be giving report to the what? To the group engagement team. The group engagement team, there are other 5 from KPMG and 5 from EY that will serve as supervisor or directors that will now supervise the work of component auditors. So their own, if they want to communicate, they communicate through letter of instruction that, oh, because they are the group engagement, they will communicate through letter of instruction to the component auditor that, oh, please, what are the position of work you are doing? Then if they want to now, if the component auditor will now want to report, they will now report to work, report of work performed to the work, to everything has been explained inside this material. I remember I explained it very well then. So don't get it twisted. I hope you understand now.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Mrs. Ruth. Hey, you guys just keep asking questions because when it is 7 like this, I'm off of this class. So I want to explain this audit related services so that we can finish before 7 o'clock. And as it is on our time now, we have less than 20 minutes. So, Mrs. Ruth, your question, please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
So what
ma'am.
I want to ask is the signing of this audit report, both
Yes.
the group audit and the joint audit. Who signed it?
Yes.
Who signed the report?
It's the group audit engagement. It's the group audit engagement. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. Mrs. Elizabeth, your question. Mrs. Elizabeth, your question. Okay, it's not there.
Okay,
Mr. Kenneth,
hello, sir.
your question, sir.
Hello, sir.
Okay. Thank you very
Not to
much.
be fast
Good evening,
now.
sir.
Good evening.
So, my question is that if I may get you right, sir, the component auditors are the ones auditing the subsidiaries of a particular company, while the group audit engagements are the ones doing the parent company. If I may get you right, sir.
No.
No.
The audit generally is done by all of them. They just share themselves. that the people that will be on the field work will be both the engagement audit team and the component auditor. The component auditor does the general vouching and everything on the account for both the parent company and the subsidiary, while the other engagement team serve as supervisor and director to guide the other people, the component auditors. Then after that, they will now give report to the audit engagement team before they now make opinion on the account generally. So it's not that one will work on the subsidiary, one will work on the parent.
Okay, sir.
Do you understand now?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank
Mr.
you, sir.
Kenneth, your question last so that we can proceed.
Sir, just proceed because of time, sir. Thank you, sir.
No, ask your question. Ask.
Okay, sorry, I was actually following deeply with you before one other lady asked questions that group audit and joint audit, if they are the same thing. You consented by saying yes. Because I understand in group audit, there's no place in that report where you said the opinion was jointly given. I think it's only the group auditor that takes responsibility, and it's only he represented that with his signature. Then, in the case of joint auditor, I think there are multiple signatures based on even what you have explained to us, and they shared the whether audit liabilities together, and they share the praise together if need be. So that part where you said, because the lady now said, I think she's writing something that she said, group audit and joint audit, if she can see it as the same thing. I don't know if that assertion is correct, sir.
Okay, what we said, I said before joint audit will happen, it means that we need to understand the meaning of group audit. Group audit is the audit of the parent company and the subsidiary company, and for the auditor to express an opinion and give report of the group as a whole. Abi, that is group audit. Abi, but yes, now joint audit has to do with what now leads to joint audit is because of the group audit, because of the complexity of the account. That is, it involves the account of two companies, that is the parent and the subsidiary. So, in natural words, only one audit firm cannot do the work alone. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
That was what extended to what? To joint audits. That is two or more audit firms coming together to do group audit work. It is from there they will now form the people that will now form the group audit engagement and the component auditors.
So the joint audit is as a result of the work volume.
Yes.
What if in a case of a merger and acquisition where the auditor of the company that they wants to sell is requested to join the auditor of the company that wants to buy, so that they will understand the account?
No, in that aspect, cost of control have to come in place. So it's the parent that have the power to appoint the auditor.
Okay.
Because in the aspect of merger and acquisition, at least they cannot have cost of control equally. They need to have parent and subsidiary. That is, from 50 and above, you are a parent. So it's either it is 51-49. So for that one cost of control, then the parent have the power to appoint the auditor, not the subsidiary again.
Okay.
So the aspect of merger and acquisition, it is the person that have highest share that like in the aspect of UBA and Trust Bank now. UBA have highest shareholder. That is why the Tony Elumelu is the CEO, Abi.
Yes,
but the logo of UBA is actually belong to Trust Bank. Trust Bank and UBA merged together to form UBA.
Yes, sir.
So they retain the name of the UBA while they use the logo of Trust Bank. So it's because it's UBA that have the highest shareholder. That is why, because that is why they are now able to take over the asset of Trust Fund, Trust Bank rather. But Trust Bank their logo is still UBA logo up to today. That logo belongs to Trust Bank, but because UBA acquire that Trust Bank, so they use the logo to represent the logo of UBA, but UBA now cover now change the name of Trust Bank to UBA because of what the majority shareholding.
Yes, sir.
That is the typical example.
It's okay. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Okay, so quickly, let's go to audit related service. I actually made a mistake while I was posting the the topic to be treated today. So the other topic that I said, what was the topic this day? Let me see. What was the topic I even put here? I said audit assurance service is actually chapter 12. So it was a mistake. So for those of us that will be messaging me later, please bear in mind that it is not assurance service that we treated today. It is group audit and audit related service that we treated today. So quickly, I'm sure we all know, because this audit related service, we have discussed it in our chapter 1 before. Yes, we have discussed it in our chapter 1 before. So this one is just like a second leg or broader explanation of audit related service. So I'm not going to waste too much time on it. So it's just for us to have an idea about it. So audit related services are services done by auditor other than audit of financial statement. Audit related service provide moderate assurance, and in some cases no assurance is provided. Audit related service engagement include review of data, agree upon procedure, and compilation. Audit related service, it means that it is not actually auditing financial statement. You can actually audit to review data of an organization, to agree upon procedure, which is the standard of operation, and compilations to set up their accounting process or their accounting process. So all these things now made together and called audit related service. Please, do you understand that question? The way I just put it like that. Please, if you understand, let me see your favorite emoji so that I can proceed. Okay. There's only one person, no. Okay. 2 people now. All right. Mr. Kenneth, thank you. Everybody, thank you. So I can proceed since we are following. So we said related service, audit related service. It is service that other than audit financial statements. But however, it's other service that has to do with maybe to provide moderate assurance in some cases or no assurance self. However, audit related service include engagement such as review of data, agree upon procedure, and compilation. These are the example of related service apart from audited financial statements. So review of data. So this is a process whereby the professional examines, verify, or check out the information provided to him and prepare by another person. That is, you review data, processes, you cross-examine and check out the information provided, prepared by another person. Okay. This has to do with finance team in an organization. It is the relationship they give you the trial balance and everything. So you now do verify the information, you verify, you cross-examine, you do another thing prepared by another person. So in this aspect, review of data means verify and check out the information provided to him if it is genuine, but the information was prepared by another person. I think you are giving me the information, the process of me verify, cross-examine, and also to get whether the information is true or not, whether the information is authentic or not, is what we call review of data. And these are also example of audit related service. Then under this, we have two types of review of data. We have attestation and direct reporting engagement. What do you mean by attestation engagement? To attest to something means to vouch for something or to affirm that information is what is correct. That is, you are giving your consent that this information I check is correct. You are attesting to it. That is part of review of data. It's either you attest to attestation or direct reporting engagement. So the other one is direct reporting engagement, which has to do with under this direct reporting engagement. It means that the practitioner is engaged to provide special report on certain aspects of its client affairs. That is, the report provides an expression of limited or negative opinion. The report is prepared after independent examination of financial information prepared by another person is examined. The direct reporting engagement has to do with a process whereby the practitioner is to provide special report on certain aspects. That is, where the account has been prepared by another person, they are called upon to give an independent examination and report on some financial information in the financial statement prepared by another person. So by that, you are doing direct reporting engagement, or you do attestation engagement under what? Under review of data, which is one of the audit related service. Please, do you understand that concept? If you understand, and we can proceed, please quickly give me your favorite emoji. Yes, thank you, so we can proceed. Okay, so I'll just explain the procedure. Then due diligence engagement. So due diligence is also an example. Due diligence engagement is a form of direct reporting. It refers to an engagement whereby the practitioner is engaged to make due diligence, to make inquiry to account, organization, or activities of an entity. Due diligence work is mostly commonly done under merger and acquisition. The objective may be to find out everything relevant to the purpose of engagement. Due diligence does not involve test of control, substantive tests, and it is not work form of audit work. Due diligence is, they just hire an expert to come to do special examination on another company. Maybe you want to buy this company. Now we just hire a practitioner. Please help us do thorough examination, like investigation, do due diligence, do thorough investigation about this company that we want to buy. That is the meaning of due diligence. But it has nothing to do with substantive testing or control or test of control or to form an audit work. It's just in the case of merger and acquisition that, I want to acquire company A, want to acquire company B. Company A now hire a practitioner to do due diligence, at least to do thorough investigation on company B, everything about their operation, their risk, their financial strength, their everything, before I can now decide to buy or to take over or to merge with them. So that is the aspect of due diligence. Is self-explanatory. Then we go to item to investigate under due diligence: financial performance, operational issues, management, just as I rightly said. Then we said under audit related service, we have review of data, agree upon procedure, and the last one is compilation. So all these things, they are just simple and straightforward to understand. Then let's quickly go to agree upon procedure. This is an engagement whereby the practitioner is engaged to carry out a task, and the procedure to achieve such task are agreed. That is, the client engaged also decide on the procedure that the accountant will adopt. The accountant provide report on factual findings. No assurance is provided here. The report issue after procedure is made available only to those who engage in their engage the accountant. This is because other people who are unaware of the procedure agreed may misinterpret the content of the report. That this agree upon procedure generally means that an engagement practitioner is hired to carry out tasks, and the procedure to achieve such tasks is agreed on. And on this aspect, they call on few people that, let us all agree on this procedure, and the report and everything after that, the report of this agreed upon procedure will be limited to only those people that were there, or only the only the team member that were there for the uh, uh, process whereby they were on so as to be limited to only those people, so that the people that are not there, when or the people that are not among the team member, will not misinterpret what the content of the report. That is the meaning of agree upon procedure. It's an engagement service whereby the practitioner is appointed to carry out what task and procedure in achieving a particular transaction, and the process will be agreed upon. However, this process is agreed upon by a limited number of people, and the report of that agreed upon procedure will also be limited to that team members, so that people that are not in the team will not misinterpret the report. So that is agreed upon procedure. And what are the components of agreed upon procedure? Is here the title, the client address, the statement of agreed upon procedure, the agreed upon procedure performed, list of special perform opinion, and the likes. Those are the content of agreed upon procedure. Now, compilation. Compilation engagement. This is a form of engagement whereby the accountant is engaged to prepare financial statements or information. This engagement is not to audit or review what has been prepared by someone else, but rather to generate information. That is what we call compilation engagement. Here, the accounting knowledge is put to use rather than audit expert. The professional here is engaged for accounting expert in the preparation of the what? Financial statement. So, no assurance service is given as the information is provided by the accountant. So, compilation engagement, it means that the practitioner is hired specially to help the finance team, so as to help them to prepare what? Better way in preparing their financial statement. That is the meaning of compilation. It is more of accounting experts rather than audit experts. That is, the practitioner in how to on how best to prepare the financial on our financial statement. The content of compilation quickly is the title, the address, and the likes. We all see it in the material and any other material that you have with you. Then lastly, investigation. Investigation. This means that a circumstance whereby accountant is engaged to find out a matter on behalf of another party. Investigation could be public. Mute your mic now. If you mute your mic, this thing will not happen. Who is this person now? I don't see reason why you just unmute your mic. You did not ask any question. This is unfair now. Okay, so that is that about investigation. You can read through it very well. It's very, very simple and straightforward. Please just let us read through it. If there's any question, please do well to send message on the general group chat. Oh, please don't just come and be disturbing me on my DM. Except maybe just know, as a professional, just know how to ask the question reasonably, because some will just come to your DM, just make reference without even introducing his or herself, or without even prior this thing. Just say, please kindly explain this. I was just like, who is this person? You cannot even explain. Good evening, course demand. Good evening, please. Maybe I miss out your class or so, or I'm not clear about this thing. Can you please quickly share more light on this thing? That is more courteous enough. Some people just barge into your DM, will just be saying something that will just be annoying you. But nevertheless, this thing are very, very straightforward. Let us read through it. And anyway, that we don't understand, we should just ask a polite question. We can see stages of investigation. All these things are very, very simple and straightforward. The comparison between investigation and statutory audit is there for us to read the stages of investigation and the likes, then reporting, liquidation and bankruptcy, then to the exercise. This is exactly 7:01, and this is the ideal time for us to break. So in 5 minutes, please quickly, let us quickly ask ourselves question, any question generally from chapter 10 to chapter 11 in 5 minutes, please. Mr. Olamilekan, your question.
How do you get the material?
Are you just joining this class?
I'm also joining too, please. How do we get the material?
Please message me privately. So that one we can discuss that one. Please just message me.
Okay, sir.
Is that the question? Okay. Well, any other question generally?
Hello, sir. I have a question, sir. Before you
Please
go,
go
sir,
ahead.
I just want to know: is it only auditors that can deal with this audit-related engagement? Can't accountants do that also?
It depends on some aspect now. We said, when we are talking about compilation now, when we are talking about compilation, we said compilation need accountant experts rather than audit experts because of the nature of the work. Because compilation has to do with hiring a practitioner that will help the finance team in preparing on how to prepare and present their financial statement. So it's not the work of an auditor to prepare financial statement. An auditor is just to form an opinion on the financial statement prepared. So it is interwoven. Some audit-related service might require the expertise in accounting, like due diligence. It does not require any accounting expertise, because due diligence, you are just doing extra investigation. It could be an accountant, it could be an auditor. Mr. Fidelis, can you please mute your mic, sir? Thank you. Do you understand now, Mrs. Elizabeth?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
any other question generally? Mrs. Ifeoluwa. Abi?
I'm also Elizabeth. Fellow Elizabeth, you've answered me.
Mr. Moses.
Okay, Mr. Moses. Yes, sir. Sir, good evening.
Good evening.
Sorry, sir. Please, can you explain a little about the significant components for me?
Which one is significant component?
Under this group audit, there is question I was solving under group audits in Pathfinder. We are talking about the significant component, but I don't really understand what they mean by that.
But they cannot just ask about significant component. They must be talking about something. Then they now relate it to, like, what was the passage? What was it talking about before now get to significant component? Because by that, significant component does not even make sense to Laniwa. The significant components, I don't understand. It has to be coming from something before I can now tell you what are significant component of which thing, of what. So that is what we need to find out now. Like, according to the question you are solving, maybe they must have give you one scenario. The scenario will then lead to question. From the question you now answer. So I need to know the scenario of what they are talking about. I don't understand the meaning of that significant question. Or you can message me better still. Mr. Moses, are you there? Okay. So thank you everybody for listening, and thank you for this section today. Thank you for listening, and God bless everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And see you
Thank you,
next
sir.
week.
Thank you, sir.
Good night,
Thank you, sir.
everybody.
Good night, sir. Thank you.
Good night, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ọmọ yẹn kọ́kọ́ mú mi náà. Hello, sir. We are done, sir. All right.